Section 3 of Chapter 8 is titled Compare Graphs, and I don't actually have a note set for this in your packet. It's just going to say we'll use the book. So here's the book, and we're just going to be talking about what they do, what different graphs do. So let's look at what we've got here. First, let's look at the quick review. Favorite ice cream flavors. True or false? According to the graph, most people prefer chocolate or vanilla. Yes or no? Hopefully you're all saying no. Chocolate and vanilla combined are 45%. Meanwhile, strawberry and something else, other, are 55%. So vanilla or chocolate do not have the most people. Now, the city of Chicago has many interesting and entertaining museums. Using data given in the table below, Gabriella and Tom each made a graph showing attendance at 2 of the museums. Gabriella made a double line graph. What this shows, nicely, is how attendance has changed over time. Tom, using years on the bottom, number of visitors on the side, means same scales, he did a double bar graph. What that lets us do is easily compare the two groups, the attendance between the Children's Museum and the Museum of Contemporary Art. So a line graph is good for showing how things change over time, and bar graphs are good for comparing two categories. So I'm actually just going to read through these with you, or rather I'm going to read through these and you'll see what I'm talking about. Number 1, Ashley wants to visit Chicago during a month when the average temperature is above 60 degrees Fahrenheit and likely to increase. The line graph shows the average monthly temperature, and the bar graph shows the number of cold, moderate, and warm months. Which graph would Ashley use to choose a month for her trip? The answer is the line graph. The bar graph doesn't actually tell me anything specific about numbers, and Ashley specifically wants to be there when it's over 60 degrees and getting warmer. The line graph will help me figure that out. Which months, by the way, would that be? We're talking about April, it's 60 degrees and getting warmer. May, it's over 60 and getting warmer. June, it's over 60 and getting warmer. But that's it. In July, it's over 60, but it's getting cooler now as we go from July to August. So Ashley would want to go between April, May, and June. Which of these graphs makes it easier to decide if Chicago is a cold or a warm city? Well, now that's the bar graph, because it's grouped into cold, moderate temperatures, and warm. The one with actual temperatures, well, that's great, but we all have different definitions of cold, moderate, and warm. I'm going to jump to number 5 now. Which graph better compares the time spent at the dinosaur exhibit to the total time spent at the museum? When you're asked to compare something to a whole, you're talking about a circle graph. Which graph makes it easier to find the difference between the longest and shortest length of time spent viewing exhibits? Now that is probably going to be your bar graph, because it's easiest to see the longest bar and the shortest bar. Longest bars being both Inventing Lab and Waterways, tied at 45, and Playmaze being the shortest at 20. The results of a weather survey are shown in a table below, and which type of graph would be best to display this? I'm thinking a line graph, because we're talking about how the average precipitation changes over time, and time is my key thing for a line graph.